my day job, I'm a criminal defence barrister. And I was getting a little bit upset with the way things were panning out under the Newman government in terms of the Crime and Misconduct Commission and interference with the judiciary and changes to legislation taking away rights to protest, children's rights in court, etc., etc. So I thought, it's time to do something. So I put my hand up for pre-selection, and here I am. I was endorsed last month by the Labor Party to run in the seat of Redlands. At this stage, we don't know who our opposition is going to be. Obviously, the current incumbent is Peter Dowling, but he hasn't at this point in the game been re-endorsed. He seems to be following me everywhere I go, so I think he's hopefully going to be re-endorsed. We'll wait and see. I've only been in the game, as I say, since August, and already I'm discovering that transport has been identified, I think, quite soundly as a key issue in our particular electorate. I've lived in the electorate since 2000. Before that I was in central Queensland, and before that in Cairns, so I know what small communities with transport issues are like in terms of that agenda. Although I've lived in the electorate, I've actually been based... The electorate has, as you would know, Redlands City Council and also Logan City Council. I'm right at the Logan City Council end of it. I'm on the boundary just about with Redlands down behind the Mount Cotton Driver Training Centre. So I also know how environmental issues are fairly significant to people in our electorate, because in my backyard we've got the Caraman Quarry situation, the Mount Cotton Quarry, and issues surrounding that in terms of disintegration of significant ecological environment for koalas and various other birds and animals. I actually wrote to the Southern Moreton Bay Island Forum when I was thinking of going to the pre-selection race for the Labor Party to say that I'd like to come along and meet with you, because I have a background, before I went into law, in organisational change and development. So I believe that forums such as this are very important for bringing forward the views of the community in a nice, succinct manner. So I'm looking forward to, one, being elected, and two, working with you as we try and improve the Redlands electorate and make it a good community for all of us to live in, and hopefully have the governments of our day listen a bit more to some of the things that we would like to have happen, or at least give us the opportunity to be heard in the consultation process. I don't know how many of you have been involved in the Redlands City Council consultation process over the last little while. The one that they had 60 people that were allowed to go to the various meetings. I'm not sure that's necessarily what I would call true consultation, but at least it's a token effort. I believe it should be more than a token effort for governments and their communities. And so that's my goal. So I wanted to come here and listen to you, good people. I will be getting around to all the islands and walking around and knocking on doors and introducing myself in person to people as well. But that might take some time to get through. It's mooted that the election will be in March of next year. I think in your own minutes it reckoned it might be the weekend of the 22nd of March 2015. I haven't had that confirmed specifically in that detail at this point in time, but it was suggested to me that it might even be as early as February. I think it might depend on how G20 pans out for them all in terms of whether they go early or late. If I am elected, or should I say when I am elected, I really would like to work closely with you and understand exactly what the key issues are and how we can progress things forward together. I believe in working towards consensus more than anything else, and that comes, as I say, from years in organisation development and change with public sector organisations, so I know what public sector is like to deal with as well. And I can sincerely empathise with those who have tried to work with public sector organisations. They're not always the easiest of things. That's all really I wanted to say at this point in time about me, unless you have any specific questions you want to direct to me. That's me. I'll be knocking around for a little while, hopefully. I'm going to have to give up my practice in law, unfortunately, because I won't be able to do two things at once. Can't multitask to that extent. But the criminal defence arena also gives you a very good handle on dealing with people in the community as well. So hopefully there are skills that will be useful to us as a community to move us forward. Be delighted to take any questions you might have of me, if any. Yes.
You mentioned transport.
Yes.
Can you enlighten us what your view is on bridging the southern Moreton Bay Islands?
Oh, the issue of the bridge seems to be a hot one. It's been a hot one since 1970s. I don't yet have a view, but I knew it was going to be a hot issue, so I did in fact write to the responsible shadow minister to see if I could get a view back on the party line. I am still awaiting that response, regrettably, so I can't tell you what the Labour Party platform is on that. All I can say is that historically it has not been a positive view. You would know that there have been multiple petitions tabled. The most recent one was very recently tabled by the member for Capalaba. It had 882 signatures on it. We're still allowed, under the current rules and regulations, to sign a petition even though we might not live next door to where the event is happening, unlike coal seam gas protesters. That petition was not met with a positive response by the current government. In fact, I have the letter here that was delivered by the Honourable Scott Emerson on the 3rd of September and tabled in Parliament. And he indicates that a bridge to North Stradbroke Island via Russell Island is not a priority for the Department of Transport and Main Roads at this time. However, Transport and Main Roads do not, in principle, oppose a privately funded bridge. For a privately funded bridge to be approved, the project would have to adhere to the normal planning, impact assessment and consultation processes and seek development approval through the DSDIP, including a referral to Projects Queensland, which is responsible for the government's public-private partnerships policy. That's government speak for no. Yeah? They're not going to go down that path at this stage.
That's probably a good thing.
It seems from what I was reading from your last meeting's minutes that there is a perception that there is division within the community.
A very big one, yes.
Yes, and probably division across the islands within the communities as well in terms of what's there.
You mentioned the bridge to Stradbroke Island.
That's what was suggested here, a bridge via
I don't think that bridge is viable at all, and that is not necessary. What we need is some link